suspect the owner of this beacon will come and find us. I know I would. But until then, well, I have something here that we should look into. I noticed a strange signal that was heading right for us. It seems like after the signal approached this place, it just spun around and took off. It was strange. Sudden. Think you could just sneak over there and poke your head in? If they seem problematic, maybe stop them somehow? I don't know. I can't tell what it's doing there exactly, but it's moving around, so I think it's alive? Or I guess it could be a robot. I noticed another USSA signal approach it a bit ago, and then they both disappeared completely for a moment. And only this one reappeared. I'm not sure what that means, but there are only a few reasons why a signal disappears. Death is one of them. Okay, just be careful. I wish I could tell what it is. It just seems so unnatural. But what does that mean in a world like this? Listen, this could be a trap. Or it could be just a big misunderstanding. I can't really say for sure. Just be careful. I'm not sure they do. We had one of those on the ship, and it landed with me. But it wasn't aggressive. I don't know. But they really aren't taking a direct line to attack me either. Maybe they're damaged or have been corrupted somehow. I did. Last time you were gone, I went on a short stroll. Didn't go far. But I saw some weird stuff. Just bizarre. Saw a giant, huge, greenish man with a two-headed cow. He was selling things. Super nice fellow. He said he would stop by later. Said he hopes to check on me when he can. I can't wait. It's such a shock, but also amazing. It felt like nothing else. I remember spinning in space, eyes fixed on Earth, unable to look away. So far away, so perfect. Affirmative. Up. Is this a friend of yours? Who are you? You seem so familiar.
Well, you look exactly the same. I never believed... I wondered who picked up my beacon. Well, I'll be damned.
Emerson? Dr. Emerson Hale. Is that you?
Welcome back to Earth, I guess. Welcome to Appalachia.
I don't even know what to say. I never expected to see you here. My ship crashed a while ago, and I was fortunate to find someone who took me in. I'm trying to find my crew, but I've had some horrible headaches.
So, you're staying at this place. I guess you really decided to jump into modern Appalachian life, huh? No offense intended, friend. I live in an old military base, so I'm not one to talk about anybody's creativity here. I hope your Good Samaritan here has helped you out with more than just a place to, crash.
He has helped me out quite a lot already, actually. Brought back a USSA beacon, and also took care of some hostile robot.
I see. Well, is there anything I can help with while I'm here? Supplies, medicines, questions, I guess? Sure is. For a while, I had hoped I could contact somebody else to monitor the deep sleep mission until we could figure something out. They weren't in the escape capsule, I take it? Well, that is unfortunate.
They could have survived, though, right?
Maybe. I've heard a couple scavengers say that parts of the ship have already been scrapped. Same goes for any other ship debris. Best to just move on. It's honestly shocking that you survived as it is. I'm serious. We had some emergence kits back in the day. They were specifically designed to help people emerge from deep sleep. I bet I could find some of those. My best guess, probably ran out of fuel and the autopilot guided it to the nearest USSA facility. Oh, what does it matter? She lived! What a miracle! There's a bunch of them out there. Seems that their algorithms got scrambled or something. Who can say? They used to come after me, but it seems like they have a higher priority target now. Expand your scanner to look for signatures at a constant speed. That should pick them up. They aren't that complicated.
Thankfully, my friend here is quite capable of destroying these things. Shouldn't be a problem for us.
That's good. I'm glad you're making friends already.
I am too. So much has changed. I mean, you know better than most. Care to catch me up to speed?
That will be quite the chat. You've missed a lot. And I still don't really get what happened either. But that's a talk for another time, perhaps. Anyway, look, I need to go. I'll be back another time and we can chat some more. Okay?
Okay, Emerson. Dear Emerson. My friend and I have a signal to track down. Looks like it might be some ship debris. So come back later, if you want to know what we found.
Mm-hmm. Bye now.
Hey. It was an Assaultron, huh? Probably one of the old USSA robots. Strange. I would have figured they would all be in standby mode now. But I need to know for sure. I found some wreckage from the rest of the ship that has one of their suit beacons. Maybe all of them are there. Can you go and see what's there? It might just be empty wreckage, but I need to know. What are the chances they also ran into a benevolent Appalachian survivor who invited them to live in a charming wilderness abode? Yes, I believe the other crew members were in a separate part of the ship. The signal moved a bit. Could be survivors, could be scavengers. If you do find them, then we'll have to make room for them here, right? Bunk beds, maybe? There would be 3 others, you know. It's possible that you won't find anything there. It might just be rubble, or maybe it's been scavenged by animals. It's hard to know. In the meantime, I picked up an issue of The Unstoppables from a visiting trader the other day. Maybe it'll help me relax. Yeah, of course. The Unstoppables, Silver Shroud, all of that. Mistress of Mystery was my favorite, of course. I was hoping that the new television show for the Mistress of Mystery would be out when I returned, but I guess not. I wish I knew. My ship's robots certainly didn't care about me at all. It didn't even check on me, and I know it saw me. He used to work with me at the USSA. Seems like he started working elsewhere after I went to space sometime. I never expected to see him here, but I never expected to be in Appalachia either. It makes me wonder about why my ship crashed here, you know? I know it had emergency landing protocols to take it somewhere near certain USSA sites, but I don't know. I never thought I needed to know. For an hour, maybe. Just before getting into our deep sleep pods. The Earth was stunning. Hanging there, alone, in the void of stars. Oh, I felt like I couldn't look away, even if I wanted to. But also, I didn't want to. Roger. Stay safe out there. One thing at a time. console could play some holotape games. Now that would be something. If my crew... So... That's it, then. They're gone. Thank you for looking into this. And for being a friend. It means a lot to me. I've pinpointed one of them using Emerson's tip. So, let's start with this one. Not right now. Not really. I'd rather just keep busy for a bit. Looks similar, but might be a different type. The strange thing is, its mobility patterns are very similar. It was heading towards us, and then it turned around and went to this location, and stayed there. I think Emerson was right. It just seems like they have corrupt targeting data or something. I'll monitor it here and see if anything about its signal changes radically. I'm wondering if it shows signs of expecting this confrontation. Oh, sure. Let's see. I don't really want to talk about my family because, well, I don't even know if they... Okay, so, hobbies. I had a small apartment near the USSA headquarters. Nothing special. I wasn't home much, you see. When I had time, I used to go to the comic book shop down the road. Sit and drink coffee, read the latest issues of The Unstoppables. I used to want to work for the Mistress of Mystery when I was a kid. But I did the next best thing, I guess. Went to space. When you were out the other day, I tried to shoot some sort of giant insect. Took a lot longer than I thought. I'm working on it, though. We really do. In this world, it's hard to imagine how anybody can survive all alone anymore. I'm glad I don't have to be alone. And I'm very glad that I'm here with you. Roger. Stay safe out there. I could get used to it here. Thanks for taking me in. It means a lot. Hey, friend. Welcome back. Look who's back. And bearing gifts.
Figured I would stop by and give you this emergence kit. It should help with your headaches for a little while.
You don't know how relieved I am to hear that. The headaches have been excruciating at times. I could barely think.
Glad to help. So, last time we spoke, you both were tracking down the crew's signal. What did you find? I figured as much. Just found parts of the suit, I'm guessing. That's basically a body.
There was almost nothing in the wreckage. They had no chance. Why weren't they in the main emergency capsule with me? They would have been safe in there.
Maybe that's true. It's all in the past, though. Focus on things you can actually change. For example, those robots. Have you found any more? Interesting. That's a rather old USSA model. Not many were ever made.
The robot's signature was a partial match for some other signals in the area, so I thought we might investigate those. It seems linked.
Seems like a waste of time to me. You have your answers. Nowak, Lee, Bernard. They're all dead. Long dead. You're not. Move on. Live your life. Build onto this Appalachian home with your Good Samaritan friend here. Lie low. Not really. But, backtrace the program's signal that you picked up. Sophia can figure it out from there.
Thanks for the emergence kit, Emerson. Come back later, okay?
I'm tracking down some more of them with my contacts, so I'll be back later. Stay out of trouble, please. I'll be going then.
I'm glad to have another emergence kit, but I'm annoyed that Emerson doesn't think anything is worth investigating, you know? Speaking of which, when you approached that robot, I detected a frequency disruption. Maybe it was sending a signal, but to whom? The signal is tagged with a code that indicates it is a high-security holotape related to the Deep Sleep mission. I mean, who would care now, right? Listen to it if you want. I can't guarantee it'll be interesting. I'm not sure what it is exactly. But if you are a communist or a sympathizer, then it might trigger some sort of explosion or brainwave obstruction thing. I can't remember. They just used to tell us that to scare us, I think. I never tested it out, though. Emerson's emergence kit helped a bit, but the headaches are very persistent. I could almost keep time with the spikes of pain. It's got to be something significant. This could give me some closure here, finally. Then I can move on, like Emerson suggested. Sort of. Right before you killed it, the robot sent out some signals to specific targets. I think it pinged my console, too. It was hard to tell if anything changed, though. My headache was back in full force, so I had to lie down. I could barely see. I expect that another USSA robot will be activated and sent after us soon, so maybe we can try again. Truthfully, it was a blur. We were sent up as a team, and we were in our deep sleep pods in under an hour after achieving a stable orbit. But that single hour? It was exhilarating. call me Sophia. Please. After what we've been through. After all, I'm in your... ship now. That makes you the commander here. I just can't shake these nightmares. Living in space forever. Just why?
Welcome to the Watoga Civic Center. Watoga Emergency Medical Services is here to help. Speak to our friendly automated receptionist for immediate assistance. Watoga EMS is currently experiencing longer than expected wait times. We thank you.
Duty call!
Help!
Stay calm, citizen. Watoga Emergency Services is here to assist you. Please state the nature of your emergency.
Mr. Sparkles is in a tree!
Citizen, clarify what is a Mr. Sparkles?
A cat, and he's in the tree!
A cat is in the tree.
Yeah! He shouldn't be in there!
The cat should not be in the tree. Is this correct, citizen?
Yes! Hurry!
Citizen, please stand back.
No!
Situation under control. Cat is no longer in tree.
Mr. Sparkles!
I was just... Strange. Doesn't seem to be anything on this holotape at all. But it's definitely labeled as part of the Deep Sleep project. Huh. So, let's see if we can dig up anything on the pods themselves. Documentation, user manuals, Dr. Bernard's designs. Anything, really. Dr. Bernard designed it to help us sleep for long periods of time and space. It clearly worked. Maybe too well. Something just seems unsettling about the whole thing. I'll start to investigate other signals, too. I wish that whale song holotape wasn't... whatever it is. It would be soothing to listen to that right about now. Okay, I'm from Chicago. Parents moved there when I was little. After college, I went to the DC area and applied for the astronaut program a couple of times until I was accepted. Oh, my folks were so proud. Other than that, I had a few relationships, nothing serious. I had a pet turtle for most of my life. That was pretty serious. I don't know. That's the high-level overview, anyway. I'm not a weirdo, if that was what you were asking. Roger. Stay safe out there. You found something related to the deep sleep mission? Okay, let's see. Okay, here's my plan. I found some old medical data from the USSA stored nearby, and I want you to look for a copy of my records there. I think that's a fine question for Emerson, honestly. Maybe 5 or 6 times, I suppose. Every couple months for the 2 years prior to launch, anyway. Something just isn't right here. I'm sort of terrified to see these medical records. I just need to relax for a bit. I got an issue of Tesla Science from a trader who stopped by recently, so, I'll probably dive into that. Dr. Bernard was one of the scientists that I worked with in the USSA. He was an engineer, mostly mechanical. I knew he had developed the sleeping pods for this mission, so that wasn't particularly new information for me. But it looks like there's something about the sleeping pod establishing a sensory link between the user and something else. I don't know what that is. And also, Emerson was the supervisor for this project. So he absolutely does know what this was about. In detail. I mean, who doesn't, right? You don't happen to have any, do you? Oh, now that would be a warm blanket on a cold night. Ooh, there is nothing quite like curling up with a good game. Oh, this brightens my day. Yes, a protect drone has been circling the camp. It hasn't approached yet, though, so I'm gonna monitor it for data and then we can go after it. I think it's collecting data about us, so I'm waiting to see who it's sending the data to, if I can. Well, right now, I think we need to track down some medical records. Then, maybe we can... Oh. I'll keep that in mind, friend. That is not how it was presented to us. It was supposed to maintain our ambient health levels, and that's it. Nothing else. The schematics say the pod was designed to help transfer sensory data. To what end? Roger. Stay safe out there. Hey, thanks for letting me stay here with you.
I'm fresh out of lemons, so I've had to make do with ingredients that are less ideal. I do hope Master Jimmy returns soon with more lemons.
Please step into the hostile target.
Hang on. Oh, I'm sore all over. Oh, building this place up is hard work. Protectrons, huh? So much for protecting. Now you, on the other hand, you jumped in and helped us out, and that kind of initiative won't go unnoticed. If you take out their glass faces, they can't see for shit.
It's just about time to eat.
Attention, citizens. Nuclear strike imminent. Please exit the area at your earliest convenience. Thank you for your cooperation.
me you're not still chasing ghosts.
Emerson, what did you know about Dr. Bernard's deep sleeper pods?
I knew some of it. I was just a manager. I didn't really read the technical mumbo-jumbo.